Makeup.
Makeup?
Yeah.
Is it bright enough in here? Like,
do you have a light? Or is that the light? That's fine. I tried right here, it's the same thing.
oh.
It's just a little
What about
bit.
this one?
Oh, you can open that one, yeah. If you,
I know you want it?
Yeah. I'm very tall.
yeah.
There, good.
I have a stool. Oh no, you need me small shoulder.
Are you recording?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, so just
Is
start.
the audio picking up?
Do whatever.
Just start.
I hope
Can
so.
you please start stating your name and all the projects that you've been, and pretty much we'll start from there.
Okay.
Okay.
Do I have to look at the camera or?
Yes, please.
Okay. I'm Felipe Flores. I'm a solo artist and I do Trabajo Records, my friend Saul. And I used to be in Black Elephant on a couple other bands like AM.
Okay. We're gonna start asking questions. What have been your experiences being in the band so far?
Can you be more specific?
Like, what do you get
Wait, hold on, I have this thing on. Could hear it, it's listening. Alright,
Yeah, come up a little. Come up, it looks a little better.
like here?
A little more. Like towards the corner of your bed. That's good.
Our creating process.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's like for the first question like I said before, like the creative process as being an artist?
What's my creative process?
Yeah.
For what? Like writing songs?
Like for songwriting.
Well, when I write a song, I usually just have an idea for like a feeling I want to get down. I usually just like record the chords and then just like build it from the drums up and then just sing over it probably like 2 or 3 times. I don't really write lyrics. I'm always like, I always think it's funny in movies when like people write songs, they're like in their room and like the whole thing just comes to them and like, I don't know. I think I like Walk the Line with like Joaquin Phoenix is just like strumming his guitar and like Ring of Fire just arrives like magic, but I don't know, I put like no thought into like lyrics. It's just like I sing over it 3 times and then if it, I don't know, if it sucks, but sometimes it's interesting.
Okay. What's your reaction when you're on stage performing in front of people?
When I'm on stage, there's sort of a. Wait, do you have to keep looking at the camera? Or?
If you feel like it.
No, okay, I kind of don't like. When I'm on stage playing a show, I don't. Okay.
It's okay.
When I'm on stage playing a show, I don't know. I kind of just like going in a daze. I don't even really like playing shows. So it's like, again, just like weird moods when I do play. Like if people try to take pictures of me, I get really like evasive, and I don't want them to see me and stuff like that. So I don't know. Most people are like pretty stoked to play shows, and it's like pretty fun for them. But I mean, I can take it or leave it, really.
Any influences that affect your style and aesthetic and the music that you create?
My influences and aesthetic are usually, I don't know, more, I guess, darker stuff, but not too dark. My influences are very specific. I'm not very, a lot of people say that they love all kinds of music, and I just don't trust those people. I just feel like they don't have like a good grasp of what they even like. I just like very specific things, like kind of, like post-punk's my favorite music ever. And you know, I kind of like pop music, like from the 60s, stuff like that.
Any bad experiences that you've encountered and obstacles, if any?
For what? For music?
Yeah.
Bad experiences are kind of inherent when you do maybe anything creative. I think people go into like music with like the best intentions. Sometimes they don't, but I don't know. I mean, bad experiences. That's like hold on.
It's okay, take your time to answer the question.
Like what kind of like? I mean,
I
like
feel
what's
like-
good and what's like bad.
Like negative, like responses from like critics and
Like a bad review. Have I ever gotten a
yeah,
bad
like
review?
I was reading Vice earlier today, and I saw the Lovely Bad Things album got like the worst rating ever. And I was like, I would just assume it would be good, but I guess it's not that good for Vice.
Well, I'll tell you something about reviewers and critics. I mean, I don't believe in critiquing like punk rock or like garage rock. I think it's stupid. It either speaks to you or it doesn't speak to you. It's you either like it or you don't like it. It works for you or it doesn't work for you. I think it's very petty to like pick on somebody in a band, and especially like I mean it's so easy to start a band. Like why do you need to like criticize people in bands? It seems like very like petty, manipulative people doing these reviews. But I've never gotten a bad review because the thing is, I've never been like in a big band. It's not worth it for them to like pick on a little band. Nobody's gonna care. If you pick on a big band, people will notice.
Okay. What's your reaction to the scene that's taking place?
I don't think the scene that's happening in LA right now in Orange County is really like for me. I mean, I think it's cool that like kids are into what they're doing and that they're success. I mean, what's going on right now is very successful. But I'm just more into like post-punk and more serious music, and I just need, I don't know, a bit more creativity, I guess, when I listen to music. I think everything right now is very like a derivative of other eras and things like that. There's a lot of conformity. I see that a lot too.
What are your opinions on indie labels?
I think indie labels are great. I mean, if they actually are independent. But I mean, the word indie is very. The word indie is very. How to say this? I feel like indie right now is not in the control of people anymore, regular people. I feel indie labels, what we call indie, like Sub Pop or 4AD, they're run exactly like the major labels, and then they're sold to people as independent, as a commodity for independence, and for people like starting their own labels and making their own decisions. But I mean, indie is just meaningless now. It's just something that's sold to people.
Do you have a favorite underground band at the moment that's taking place?
I like plenty of local bands. I mean, I like some local bands. Like I like Dirt Dress a lot, and I like Cosmonauts a lot. And pretty much, if I release somebody, then I probably like them. I mean, I would never release somebody that just because I think it's gonna sell.
Okay. What inspires you to do what you do as an artist?
I don't consider myself an artist. I think an artist is like somebody. It's either somebody who's very conceptual or somebody who's very good at crafting something, and I don't think I'm either of those things. I just started a band a long time ago, and I started writing songs, and it's kind of like a habit. I don't think of myself as an artist really.
What word can best describe you?
I'm grumpy.
Just being honest. Do you want to add anything else to that?
I don't know. Do you have any more specific questions?
To to that same question right now that we're on?
Not just like any,
Okay.
like elaborate more on the other ones, more
Do
specifically.
you have a song or album that you're most proud of releasing and creating?
No, I don't really have like anything I'm that proud of, and I don't really listen back to anything I've done. And I haven't really done that much. I mean, I feel like everything, I've always had like ideas, but by the time they're recorded and like have to deal with people, they're not even there, so.
What's your overview view?
Oh, actually, no, I do have something I really like. I did.
Go ahead.
I didn't really do it, but like,
It's fine. Sorry.
I think the happiest thing I did was, I did like with the 21 Under comp with Michelle from Mika Mika, like way back in the day. I thought that was pretty cool. Like, I thought that was like relevant. I don't know.
I guess like why like is there anything more specific as to why you thought it was cool? Like maybe like the idea behind it or like the musical style or just like the experience or just
Well, the 21 Under compilation was like it was only bands that were under 21, and they're like, this is like a compilation of like about 4 shows that were thrown at the Smell over like 2 years, and all the songs were just like, all the bands were under 21, so it was just very, I mean, that's I guess DIY as I think it gets. It's just like kids making music, and all the bands were totally different from each other. There was like one sound, and a lot of them were just like really experimental and just like crazy bands.
That's good. What's your overall view of Felipe Flores' solo project in the big picture?
Felipe Flores' solo projects, it's just more like, sorry, I'm sick. I'm trying to talk here. The Felipe Flores songs I do are kind of just, they're like whole like ideas. Like, I mean, my idea for the cassette series is like a trilogy, sort of like the Dirt Dress trilogy, where each tape is its own like feeling, its own thing on its own. It's not like singles writing, but I probably will try to write like 7-inch singles type stuff like that. But I want to just like do songwriting more like how like a writer, like a comic book writer would just like do it. Like, you don't do the same. You don't just write Superman every day for like 4 years.
Where do you see yourself and your project 5 years from now, if it's still continue?
Well, the good thing about like doing the label with Sal is, I mean, the main reason I want to do the label with Sal was because I just have like a venue to show my songs. I just don't have like a label really. And I mean, I guess you could just like write songs for nobody and just post them on the internet and like you're a songwriter, but I just like the idea of like mass producing things. It seems like real to me to like just receive all your stuff in the mail and it's just like all there in front of you.
What are your feelings on political righteous underground acts and individuals? But where do you stand yourself as far as a political position?
Politically, I usually lean left, but I mean, I definitely have my own ideas on things. I wouldn't say I'm a Democrat or anything like that. Or
So you wouldn't label yourself?
not really. I mean, I obviously lean more leftist. I mean, all the imagery of Trebabo is usually pretty like working class and progressive.
Okay.
But I mean, I'm not actively. I mean, I would like to be like an activist, but I'm just. I mean, I just have too many ideas about stuff I want to do, drawings and music.
How did your solo project form and why? You don't have to get into detail why. If you don't feel comfortable with that, but.
Oh no, that's fine. I'm just doing the solo stuff now because it just in Black Elephant a lot of the time it's my other band Black Elephant. There's just this. It came to me just like writing all the parts for everybody, and being really bossy and telling everybody what to do. And I think that was kind of like not fun for everybody, and it almost wasn't even a band. So, just with this, I mean, it's just, there's no bullshit. I am really just like doing all the parts.
Mm-hmm.
So. And Black Elephant specifically like indie pop. And so it'd be kind of like confusing for the people that liked it in the first place if they started doing other songs.
Most memorable show you remember?
As a Black Elephant,
Yeah.
I remember like the first like the most memorable Black Elephant show is like we played like Whittier and people actually liked it and like danced. I don't know, Black Elephant wasn't like a huge band, so it's like we didn't really do like that much. So people liked it for once at one point, so that was cool.
Favorite city and venue to perform in?
There's a couple cities I like performing in. I mean, do you mean local or do you mean like across the country?
Local.
Okay, local cities I like performing in is are Claremont. I mean, everybody there is always really nice. And I mean, for Black Elephant, LA was always more receptive, and we had like better shows in LA, and Orange County was pretty disinterested in what we were doing.
I guess like, you know how you said, oh, Orange County is more disinterested than compared to LA. I think like related to what Jose is trying to like document in this documentary, maybe we can expand more on that, or like why you felt it was that way, other than the fact that they probably, you know, the audience, you know, how when you were performing, but like, I don't know, is there like more of a reason why you think that was why, or how you see things?
Oh, sure. I think Black Elephant did better in Los Angeles because Los Angeles is just, I mean, just everything's going on in Los Angeles. I mean, you can never be the boss of Los Angeles, really, because your reign would last like 3 months. But in Orange County, I mean, it is possible for like things to get just like completely taken over. Things go in waves. In the late '90s, like ska was huge, and like everybody had to be in a ska band, and it was like dogmatic. And the early 2000s, it was like everybody had to be in a hardcore band in Orange County, and now it's like everybody has to be in a garage rock band in Orange County. So if like you aren't exactly doing that, like you're just like bumming everybody out. It's just like an Orange County thing. I don't. It's like a whole different mentality. And LA people are just like really trying to be cool, and I think that leads them to be like open about stuff. But Orange County people just kind of want to like party and have fun, so that it's not important to like be exposed to new things, I guess.
That's all true. Do you have a song that you're most proud of releasing and creating?
I definitely prefer some songs to other songs. A lot of songwriters say like, no, I mean, I can't pick, but I definitely have bad songs. But I mean, there's cool ones. I mean, I like Rocket Ship a lot and 4 Years. And basically, like all the songs on the Black Elephant tape, I liked. I mean, I write probably 100 songs a year, but no, they're not released, so it's hard to tell people like which ones are the good ones. But I mean, on my solo project, there's a few I like Violet. I like. I just wrote a song called Pulsar. I think it's cool. I like that sound. I just did.
Can you describe, while we're on the same question, can you describe the difference between the 4 Years version of your August EP and the one from the 4 Years? Why does it transit? There's a transition, but sonically, it sounds different. But why is that? Can you describe that?
Oh sure, yeah. The 4 Years on the first demo, opposed to the 4 Years on the tape. The 4 Years on the first demo was more. I wasn't really like recording as far as like a band was concerned. It was just kind of like, oh, we'll have drum machine parts and keyboards and distorted 2 basses and stuff. And it was a bit more lo-fi because I was still learning how to record. And the tape was more, it's pretty much like the band setup. Probably just like with a keyboard though instead.
Are you financially stable at the moment with being, as being an artist, a solo artist?
Like how do you mean? Do you mean I could?
Financially sustain yourself, make a living.
Oh no,
No.
no. I couldn't. I will never be able to. Like make a living off music. I mean that ship has sailed. That was. I mean. There's the economic disparity in all of America has translated to music now too, where if you're upper or middle class, then you have the advantage of being in a band. You don't have to like work so hard. So you could afford, you know, guitars, and like you could take like a year off from work and stuff like that if you're privileged. But if you're working class, then you really don't have like that luxury anymore. It's just I mean, there's less people in working class conditions starting bands because there's just no time. I mean, people are just like struggling now. And then it becomes this whole like loss of identity thing where working class people are acting like they're rich, and middle class people are like dressing down and acting like they have it hard. But rock and roll's always been kind of escapist anyway, so it's not like that's a new paradigm.
What are your comments on mainstream music?
I don't really think there's like a division between like Main Street music and like Pitchfork and. I mean, what counts as mainstream like now? I mean, it's just I mean, a band like Fun or something, or like Mumford and Sons. I mean, are they really like that different from like the lamest like mainstream indie? It's just K-Rock sounds exactly like Kiss FM, and Kiss FM sounds like K-Rock.
We gotta edit that out, me laughing. It's not cool. You wanna jump in?
I guess like
Yeah, same thing. I'm starting to get like more comfortable now.
oh, I really liked like how you were talking about like the difference between like Orange County, LA, and then you're kind of giving your own commentary on it, and then I don't know. I guess just
That's good.
like
Sorry.
do you just have any more thoughts? I don't know. Like I'm willing to just like listen. But
On like how the scene is right now.
yeah.
The differences between LA and Orange County.
Just like the scene in general, how you
What
see
is
it, and
the
how
scene?
yeah, pretty much like what is the scene, and then like how you said, oh, it's not really for me, kind of like why, like I guess like further expand on the why.
Well, I mean, Burger Records is just like very important right now, and I mean, I'm very happy that they're successful.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just like kind of philosophically like opposed to like what I like look for in punk.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, which isn't bad. Everybody can have their own opinion, but it's just like I just feel like there isn't even like another option right now. I feel like it's so big that it's just like you have to do this or something.
Mm-hmm.
But people seem to like it, and people seem to have fun with it, so it's not that bad. It's just like, I don't know. It's just like almost on every level philosophically like the opposite of like what I was attracted to punk about. I mean, it just all seems like very hippie to me, and just very like drug culture oriented and things like that. Like, I mean, my definition of like indie was always like Black Flag and SST and like Discord and stuff, and just like almost like fascist in their like view of like how to be like DIY.
Mm-hmm.
And but I mean, labels now are just like, and bands, they're just, it's like everybody's reading the same like how to manage your band books, and like everybody's like like brand naming themselves, and labels like are don't even put out music anymore. They're just like about creating, subcultures and scenes and like demographics and like meeting, quotas, and it's just like insane right now. Like there's this whole like Horatio Alger like American Dream aspect, and people think that if I just start a band and I practice a lot and I'm good, good things will happen. But I mean that's like completely abstract to the reality. Like you have to have like people doing your PR. I mean, and the okay ones, the entry level PR firms are like $600 a month, and there's just like so many things. You have to like deal with like blogs now. You just have to like constantly like push yourself on like Facebook and Twitter, and it's just like it seems like the successful bands are just like putting as much time into like all of that than they are their music, which is I don't know. I guess that's just like the way it is now. But like, and people tell me like that's how you have to do it, but it's just essentially like you don't have to do anything. You could do it like the way you want to do it. And the way I want to do it is like the way I idealize like Minor Threat doing it.
Are you done?
No,
You want me to jump in?
yeah, you can go.
Next question is, do you think the music you play and have created is a type of manifestation of youth?
Of what? Youth?
Yeah.
I hope not. I hope like the music I'm doing makes sense to like the age I am. Like I've always appreciated like people who kind of like are dignified and old, like Jonathan Richman would say, where it's like you're just like always appropriate to like the age you are. Like I always hate it when like old punk bands come back and like they're doing the same songs they were doing when they were like 18. Just like relive the glory days and cash in on a few bucks. I would probably like never like reform any of the bands I've already been in. I would never want to be in a band more than 3 years, because it's just, I mean, what new ideas? Nobody does any new ideas after 3 years in like any other bands. Nobody's still good after 3 albums unless you're like the Beatles or something.
Yeah, that's a good answer. How do you see the music industry nowadays?
The music industry like totally took a shit, like in the early 2000s. And it seems like all the people that ruined like the major labels ended up working for the indie labels. Like they all got jobs at like probably like 4AD and like Sub Pop and stuff, because now the indie labels work and are just as archaic as the major labels were in the 80s. So, and kids just go for it. There's no like opposition. It's just like people are like begging to be told like what to do and like what's cool. I mean that's like all Pitchfork is. And then I mean I would just really want a lot of people like get together and start calling indie something else. But then again, if you call indie something else, like the major labels and the corporations are just gonna like galvanize it and turn it into something mediocre anyways. And it's like I feel like sometimes normal everyday people are kind of like helpless politically. Like you can't really make any influence on the political situation. You can't like really determine what politicians do, but you do kind of have control over pop culture. You could like kind of like start a band and like put new ideas out there. So I mean, if we're even helpless like on that level, then like really what could we contribute to the world?
I'm sorry, I have to go to the bathroom. She's gonna continue.